regular council meeting of February 15th, 2023. Adoption of agenda. Recommendation that council adopts the agenda. Can I get a seconder? Councillor Whittle, thank you. All those in favor? Unanimous and carried. Item number 3, adoption of minutes. Recommendation that council adopts the minutes from the regular council meeting held on January 18th, 2023. Can I get a seconder?
I'll second that, and then I'll make a motion that we table items 3.1 and 3.2 until our next meeting.
We're doing 3.1 as well? I was only aware that we were tabling.
No, there's adjustments that had to be made, so.
Oh, on both?
I think both, but it's better to have one set of caution.
What has, excuse me?
Yep.
What has to be changed on January 18th?
Yes.
Was that not in the emails? No? Okay, it was just the February 1st.
Just the February 1st, yeah. So, okay, so item 3.1, recommendation that council adopts the minutes from the regular council meeting of January 18th. Can I get a seconder? Councillor Johnston, thank you. All those in favor? Unanimous and carried. Now, Councillor Whittle, would you like to make your motion?
Okay, now I'll make the recommendation that we table 3.2 until our next meeting.
Okay. Seconded by Councillor Johnston, thank you. All those in favor? Perfect, we'll make those changes and then bring that back. Introduction of late items, none. Public hearings, none. Delegations, 6.1 recommendation.
The council hears the delegation from Director Hebert and Director Rose of the Peace River Regional District on the Seniors Aging in Place Support Service Program.
Wonderful. All right. You people are up, though. You seem to be a short one.
Seconder.
Oh, seconder. Thank you. Councillor Johnston, thank you for seconding that.
So where do you want us?
So you can stand at the fancy podium. There you go. Good evening. Thank you. Okay. All right. So I see we have like a bit of a presentation here. So you guys can be reading from that, or?
We were just asked to give you some information on it. So if you want to speak to.
So we can go through it if you want to. You guys have had it attached to your agenda, I believe.
Yeah. Do you maybe want to do like a briefly talk on it? And yeah, that'd be perfect.
So
Thank you.
First of all, I'm Dan Rose, and with me is Leanne Malcolm, our procurement officer.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about our Aging in Place program, Seniors Aging in Place. Seniors Aging in Place was kind of a brainchild of a fella in my area. We had a few meetings on it about 3 or 4 years ago, and we decided to run a couple pilots and see if we could do it. See if we could mainly provide some meals in the rural area, try to keep some seniors in their homes because there's no place for them to go anyways. So we ran a couple of pilots, found out if we're going to be able to get into people's yards, we probably need to plow the driveways. So we had to add snow removal to it, as well as just for compensation purposes for our folks doing the work. Can't be able to get to the door without falling down and hurting themselves. So anyways, we ran that for a couple of years, came up with some numbers, took it to the people in last summer.
Yep, July 2021.
And they voted in favor of supporting it with their tax dollars. And we're just basically wrapping up our first year of running the program. So yeah, it's been pretty good. You guys have seen the costs and so on. And this is for running a rural program with a lot of miles in between. You can see what our recovery costs are as far as and what we charge for housekeeping, as well as meals and snow removal. And the eligibility part is mainly for seniors that are 65 or older and caregivers that live with them or parents that live with them. We have about 175.
Yeah, 170. I think it was 173 as of December, and the numbers are still going up. I think we had a few more enrolled in January. Yeah, so we ended up doing a public procurement once this was adopted, and we went to RFP for a provider. And it was the Dawson Creek Society for Community Living that was the successful proponent. They've been running the program with the PRD oversight at this point now since May of 2022. So we don't have a full year under our belts with it as the Peace River Regional District. We were grant funding it at one point, correct?
Yeah, yeah, so, one of the things that we do, especially with the meals, it's good to know, is we run it's a menu-based, program, so that we've got, well, you guys have got, see the options that we offer in your stuff there. Yeah, and we found out, we started out not doing that, we just had general stuff and people didn't like it. But once we went to the menu, it was a lot better received, so. Never had any complaints as far as quality of the meals. Our main contractor
Yeah.
in meals is the meat doctor.
Yeah.
So they're running out, how many meals a week?
Oh, total number of, well, yeah, they had, I think it was 1 month was 1,200 meals in 1 month. That they were doing, yeah, so.
We've had big, actually more interest in housekeeping than meals lately.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are living, a lot of them live alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a couple housekeepers show up, one to visit, one to clean the house.
Yeah.
So it's really good for them to have some contact. And these folks are kind of doing a little bit of wellness checks while they're doing it.
Mhm.
Right? Just having a look and making sure everything's going okay.
Social component to engage and interact and
Mm-hmm.
make sure everybody's doing okay. Mhm.
Okay, perfect. And so so this is run, so for meals and house cleaning, so meals are $3 per person,
That's for the.
Per-
meal.
per meal. Yeah, and then the housekeeping is $12.50 per visit, and then the snow removal is $25 a month, and then whatever over and above that is on taxes.
That's right. And the majority is on taxes.
Yes. Okay.
And these are, they don't have to, they can take any one of the 3 services, take them all. Like we don't.
Yeah.
It's
Very flexible.
very flexible. If you only want meals or 3 meals a week, then that's what you get. And if you don't need snow plowing, like if you've got family members looking after that, then that's fine. Lots of people just take the housekeeping.
Okay.
So it's hard to budget for because it varies.
It is.
Certain times of the year, maybe winter time, folks want meals too. And come summertime, maybe they're gonna cook for themselves.
Yeah, so I was trying to get some numbers in there. You'll see the user cost, the average cost to the RD is noted in there. That is less the user fees. Taxpayer base. Okay, and it's varying.
Yeah, okay. And then, I can't speak for the rest of council, but I know my interest is sort of how you got this off the ground. So first, you guys did sort of like a round table meeting, wasn't it, where you were going out into the community and meeting with community members and sort of talking to them about the program, or?
Actually, it was brought forward to Director Hebert and myself by Sam Barber from the Society for Community Living, who lives in my area. And we got together a group of folks in Tom's Lake and Progress, Ground Birch, that were interested in helping us run a pilot. Had a few meetings and formed a society, built a web page, and figured out how much we could come up with grant money wise for Director Hebert and myself, and started the pilot. Once it looked like it was doable and we had some costs nailed down, and of course we have to go to referendum in order to fund it. You guys don't have to, we have to. Anything we do is a referendum, so we have to ask the people. So we went to the people, and the few that showed up voted for it.
Okay. Councillor Johnson or Will, do you have any questions?
No, costing us actually extremely reasonable for the amount of people that you guys have.
The meals, you could do 3 meals a day, right?
No, it's
No,
one meal.
it's one
meal a
It's
day,
only
okay.
5 meals a week. We found that 7 was too many, actually. 7 meals a week was too many. They're not there, that there's leftovers and there's, it's really to provide one good meal per day and the rest of, you know, they get breakfast and lunch themselves. These are maybe dinners. And they'll get one probably fresh delivered and the other ones will be frozen.
They're made fresh weekly and then frozen right away and then delivered on Mondays. And,
Initially, we'd hoped that, because most of our seniors actually are fairly mobile in the rural areas, that they would come to some place and pick it up themselves and maybe have a social event at the same time, just get people out of their homes. That hasn't worked because of COVID. We really haven't got back there yet. Maybe a little bit involved down the road. We're working in some other things as well. Maybe some foot care and other opportunities.
Okay, perfect. And then I think from your guys' plan here, you know, it is definitely something that we would be bringing forward to the community to sort of learn more on and then kind of vote on and, you know, decide whether or not this is something that they would like to support within Pooskoopi, especially because there is that added tax dollar bit as well, right? So that definitely makes it a little more difficult.
It does, but you guys, it's a different, I mean, you're probably looking at a lot more economical opportunity than what we have, just because of the sheer distance that you
Yeah.
wouldn't have to go.
yeah, far.
I understand that you guys invested in a community kitchen not that long, or a number of years ago. That's perfectly capable of supporting a business that could provide those meals right here. So there are opportunities right here in your community, and I know that the society would be happy to help you get it going. They told us that.
Yeah, they're great to work with.
Oh, okay, perfect.
All of our employees are vetted. They have to be. They're all criminal record checks and they know how to do all that stuff. So we're pretty lucky to have them on board to kind of do. I don't know if there's anybody else out there right now that can kind of do that.
And it's not a volunteer-based program, it is contracted out.
No volunteers.
program. So that keeps it consistent versus, you know, volunteering is great, but sometimes you can't rely on that, so.
Yeah, we wanted something that the business exists in the communities. Most of the housekeeping is done by rural residents that with a business plan, and we wanted it that way, just so that we could maintain service. As soon as you start relying on volunteers, we know how tough our volunteers, our bases are. It's just tough to keep any kind of consistent level of service. So we wanted to make sure that we didn't start something and then the service level would drop off. And we wanted to stay at a high level. And this is the only way we can do it.
Okay, perfect.
Now, the people that utilize this service, are they under contract? Or it's just
No.
open, they just turn around and tell you what they need, and now payments are made then through community
Yes.
service?
Yes.
So they pay them once a month, is that the way that
Yes.
works? And then it had to be prepaid or whatever, for whatever
No,
service they
Once
need?
the actual services rendered, you pay at the end of the month.
Okay,
And
now what about the snow removal? If they don't use snow removal in a month, do they still get charged for that snow removal?
No, it's per
per use, yeah.
use.
Okay.
And the same with the housekeeping. So,
Snow removal is $25 for the month up to 3 times in the month, but it's
Okay.
$25 for the user fee there.
snow removal is a real challenge.
Snow removal is a real challenge.
The costs, the liability.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is probably the biggest issue we're gonna have.
And there'll definitely be like another opportunity for you to come and like people can come and then ask questions and we'll have something down
Yeah,
at
I
the
was just trying to
community
get a
center.
feel for what's going on, like if the people that utilize the service, whether they were under contract, or they had to turn around and take so many meals, or they had to take a certain service before they would be eligible, and all they have to do is be 65, right?
Yeah, and actually, there are a few other, like, if you're,
Yeah, so sorry,
Well,
65.
she's she wrote the contract, so she can say exactly.
So, yeah, 65 and within area D and a portion of area E. So we have a map online, you punch in your address, you're either in or out of the box. And that's the eligibility at that point. So.
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna interrupt. Our 15 minutes is up. Is council wanting to extend that 15-minute time limit?
Yeah.
Okay, can I get a motion on the floor for that?
Make a motion that we extend the delegations time limit.
Can I get a seconder? All those in favor? Awesome, thank you. Please carry on.
So yeah, that's basically the service eligibility. It's pretty
So
straightforward.
right now, it's just in the progress area and rural area out here in Mr. Hubert's area, right?
Yeah, well, in his area, it's all of area D.
Yeah, all of area D,
Which
and then
is
part of
from
area.
the border to Peace River,
Okay,
and it only goes as far as East Pine.
okay.
So it's what we call our sub-regional area.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hoping to move it west into Chetwynd. We'll see.
Well, I think there's a need for it right across the whole province, right, to be quite honest with you, right?
So here's the problem with it. This is paid for in parts of the province.
Yes.
So that's, my next chore is to try and get money from the province.
Yeah, it's
Because it's really something that they should be doing. It's not our job,
That's correct.
and I hate to take stuff on,
I agree with you.
but it's still, it's the only way we were gonna get it. We can show them now after a year, we're gonna take it, we're gonna go south, we're gonna show them in Victoria what we've done, how it works, and they can ask for any kind of oversight they want, if they wanna write a check for it.
Now,
But they can't run it. That's the only stipulation they gotta stay on.
that's right, I hear you.
And it does say here that part of it was also originally started on grants and stuff as well, right?
2019 was when it first kicked off.
So the grants came from area E and area.
Yeah, it was your.
It wasn't,
Oh, okay, there weren't any.
no, it was what little bit we get out of Peace River Agreement. We get a small portion of that every year. So that allows us to do a few things.
Okay. All right. Either counselor, you guys have any more questions? No? Okay, well, we will definitely stay in touch as we're sort of looking into creating something that's more tailored to Pouce Coupe. And, you know, thank you guys so much for coming out and for creating this wonderful package to sort of present to us. I really, really appreciate it. And you'll definitely be hearing from us, so.
So we're happy to share what we learned on this past year. We'll have some more numbers in May.
Yeah,
that
that'll be
kind of give us an
one
idea of
under
what.
Pure.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you guys so
And
much.
if I, one second, would this be applicable to small municipalities and even the city of Dawson Creek if they would be able to come on board with something like this?
Well, I don't know if the rural portion, like, that kind of a program, I think you're right. It could work, it could work anywhere, right?
Well, what I'm saying right now is the rural portion out here is like you guys come right by Pouce Coupe here, right? We've got seniors and elderly people in Pouce here that could probably utilize that service also, right?
That's just a matter of understanding how to fund it, right?
Exactly.
But I would think that, we know Better at Home exists in town. The Better at Home's volunteer-based.
Yeah.
There's Meals on Wheels, different communities have
Yeah.
that volunteer-based. They ebb and flow, right? They go hard for a while, people burn out, then they kind of disappear, so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Mr. Plower over there is going to follow you out and probably ask you a ton of questions, which is fantastic. So.
We'll get out of here.
I'm good. I appreciate
Thanks for your
that.
time.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
I think it'll be a great program for Pouce Coupe once we get it up and going.
Yeah, I guess start making some phone calls. Perfect. Alrighty.
Yeah, you know what?
Work with the food bank.
Just a heads up, guys. There's a wicked echo in this room. Sorry. I know, Mr. Plummer. There's an echo.
I'm sorry.
You can follow him out. I'm telling
The
you.
echo will be.
There you go. You're more than welcome to come.
Thanks for your time.
You're
Appreciate
more
it.
than
You guys
welcome
have a
to
good
come back
evening.
after. I just wanted to let you know the echo is pretty bad. Thank you. Have a great night. Alrighty. We're moving on to number 7, unfinished business and business arising from the minutes. None. So item number 8, new business recommendation 8.1.
Recommend that council approves the library board members as outlined in the attached letter.
Okay, can I get a seconder? Second by Councilor Woodall, thank you. Alrighty. Wait, he signed it? So we have a few returning members and a few members who were members before that are also returning, which is fantastic. The library board has often struggled getting members, so it's nice to see some faces are coming back, which is awesome. So all those in, Councilor Whittle, yes?
Yeah, so just to confirm, because I know we ran into this issue last year, all of these people are all residents of Pouce Coupe.
Oh, good question. They are all residents of Pouce Coupe, yes. Yeah.
Yes, I don't remember we ran into that issue last year.
Yes, that is very, very, thank you very much for double checking that.
That's the only thing I can put up.
Alrighty, so all those in favor of accepting the, approving the members as outlined in the attached letter? Unanimous and carried, thank you very much. Alrighty, 8.2, recommendation.
Recommend that council adopts the social media policy 1.16 guidelines for personal use.
Can I get a seconder? Councilor Whittle, thank you very much. Alright, discussion, anybody have any questions on that one? I have a question, that's why I am asking. Miss Stokes, I know you're in via phone, secretly, I forgot to announce that you were here.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Stokes, I have a question about the social media policy. I currently run a mayor's Facebook page where I post like events in the community and weekly updates on different things I've been up to. Would this affect that at all, or would I still be able to do that? No, sorry. I should have messaged you or emailed you and I actually completely forgot, so I apologize.
I believe you can still run your Facebook page as the mayor of Pouce Coupe, but I believe you have to put a disclaimer on there stating that these are your opinions only and not the opinions of the village.
Okay, and what if I...
And you can't use your mayor photograph.
Yes, I knew that, yeah. What if, so I don't often post opinions on there, I sort of just post like information. So is it only if I'm posting an opinion about something that I need to put that, or do I also have to put that if I'm just posting information about what I've been up to? I know I'm really putting you on the spot, I'm so sorry.
Is it this one or is it guidelines for village use? So remember there's two policies, one is guidelines for village use, one is for personal use.
Okay, so maybe I'll re-ask that same question when we bring up 8.3 then.
And I'm still gonna have the same answer for you.
Okay,
My
alright.
answer will be, I need to get back to you.
Okay,
I can't see, where they've covered that. I believe basically if you're posting, from what I remember reading, if you're posting on your own page, you just can't voice an opinion on behalf of the village. It has to be your own opinion, and you must state that it's your opinion and not the village's opinion.
yeah, okay.
Okay? And I believe that's for both of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I read this weekend as well, and so I was thinking, well, if it's just information based, and I'm not giving any any opinions on anything, I should be fine.
Yeah.
My understanding. Okay.
I'll be good.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So, all those in favor of adopting? Oh, is there any other questions? Sorry, gentlemen.
No, I think what you're talking about though comes in under point 8 and 9 kind of address what you're
Yeah, where it states that you can, if councillor posts or content of their personal social media account that is relevant to the village, they must use the following disclaimer: all opinions and posts are my own and don't necessarily represent the village, Pouce Coupe positions, strategies, or opinions.
Exactly.
So, okay, so I could just put that at the end of all of my posts then, hey?
If you look at number 9, it's sharing village social media posts to a personal social media account. Council or staff shall use the designated sharing tools for the platform and include an "in my personal opinion" disclaimer with day so that when you do post things, it's transparent and you're adhering to the policy.
Yeah, okay. All right, any other questions? No? All right, so all those in favor of adopting the social media policy 1.16, sorry, guidelines for personal use, all those in favor? Unanimous and carried, thank you very much. Okay, 8.3 recommendation.
That council adopt social media policy 1.16A guidelines for village use.
Okay, can I get a seconder? Councillor Johnston, thank you. All right, so yeah, very much the same thing. Any questions and discussion?
So yeah, I just want to bring attention to item 7 on here. So number 7.7, the village shall not respond to any posts by third parties on social media, whether on the village's account or otherwise, except to redirect inquiries to the appropriate channels in accordance with section 6. So yeah, I think that's a good thing to have in there. So yeah, that's all I wanted to highlight over that.
Okay, any other questions, Councillor Johnson? No? Alrighty, so all those in favor of adopting social media policy 1.16A guidelines for village use? All those in favor? Unanimous and carried, thank you very much. Alrighty, 8.4 recommendation.
Recommend that council adopts policy 6.3 community center rentals.
Seconded by Councillor Little, thank you very much. Discussion?
So to staff, no major changes to this really since that I've seen in here since it came to us in draft last month or a couple weeks ago.
No, just a little bit in the wording, just to clarify it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I did actually have a question in regards to insurance, so I just sort of want to put that out there so everybody knew. One of our community portfolios kind of reached out and was wondering about if like the museum or the library were to use the gym, do they need to have their own insurance, or are they covered under the insurance that is in the community center with the village? And that was
Unless it is a village, put on by the village event, that's the only time they will be covered. They should have their own insurance, and we should be named as additional insured on their insurance. If it's a big event where they're having alcohol, then they'll
have to
require
get
the event liability.
Yeah. But if it was something like, cookie decorating that the public library did like last
Then their
weekend.
regular insurance, their own insurance should
That's
cover multiple locations, but they might want to check with their insurance company.
Okay, perfect. Awesome, thank you. All right, any other questions? None? Okay. All those in favor in adopting policy 6.3 community center rentals? Unanimous and carried. Thank you very much. Alrighty. So, 8.5 recommendation.
That council proclaim March 26, 2023 as Purple Day during Epilepsy Awareness Month.
Can I get a seconder?
I'll second.
Second by Councillor Johnston, thank you. All right, I have to read this, I'm pretty sure. Alrighty, so whereas Purple Day is celebrated on March 26th annually during Epilepsy Awareness Month to increase knowledge and understanding of epilepsy in the community. Whereas Purple Day was founded in 2008 by Cassidy Megan, a 9-year-old girl from Nova Scotia who wanted people living with epilepsy to know that they were not alone. And whereas on Purple Day, people in communities around the world are encouraged to wear purple and host events in support of epilepsy awareness. And whereas there are over 50,000 people in British Columbia, over 380,000 people in Canada, and over 65 million people worldwide living with epilepsy. Whereas the onset of epilepsy can occur at any stage of life and does not discriminate against age, gender, race, ethnicity, religion, social economic status, geographic location, or sexual orientation. Whereas Purple Day can improve the quality of life of people living with epilepsy, create a society that embraces the beauty of difference and helps us understand how we can all come together and make the world a better place. Therefore, I, Mayor Danielle Beach, do hereby proclaim Sunday, March 26, 2023 as Purple Day in the village of Pouce Coupe. Do I need to bang the gavel or anything there, Ms. Stokes?
Nope, that's all you had to do.
All right. Any reason to bang it, really, let's be honest. Awesome. So, make sure you guys wear your purple on March 26th, and if we take a picture, even better, wearing our fancy. I may have to go buy a new jean jacket. Oh man. Alrighty, perfect. So 8.6 recommendation.
Recommend the council approves proceeding with the volunteer barbecue on April 29th, 2023.
I get a seconder.
Second.
Councilor Whittle, thank you. So we used to, pre-COVID, host a volunteer barbecue each year, or some sort of volunteer function to give thank you to the volunteers in our community. I would like to work with staff to bring that back. I reached out to Wright's Foods, the Co-op Food Store, Walmart, Costco, and kind of shopped around to get some ideas of how much it would cost. So each month there's about $1,000 per year line item for these types of events. And so my estimate I was able to come up with is about $582.23. So it's pretty decent deal. We could do it twice. This is an overall estimate, so it may fluctuate. I did do all this calling around about 3 weeks ago, though, so it still should be pretty good. I would like us as council members to host this barbecue here on Main Street outside of the fire hall. They have a nice big barbecue there, and I'm pretty sure our chief would let us use it. And I would really like it to be mayor and council who are thanking staff and volunteers for all their hard work in the community. We're often the faces that get the high fives and the thumbs up, but they're often the people that are doing all the hard work as well. So I would just like, with your guys' help and your approval, to move forward in celebrating all the hard work of the amazing volunteers that Pouce Coupe has, and that would be the Pouce Coupe Public Library, the Pouce Coupe Museum, the Pouce Coupe Seniors Hall, the Pouce Coupe Volunteer Fire Department, and staff as well. Hopefully they can come. I'm not going to make them come, but I'd love to see them if they did come. And so, yeah, any questions or discussion? Oh, well, you guys are easy to talk over, man, oh man.
So I'll make the recommendation that the village proceed with $1,000 budget for the volunteer barbecue April 29th from 1 to 3 p.m.
I'll second.
Wonderful. Okay, and all those in favor? Yay! Party on Main! Party on Main! Alrighty, moving on to item number 9, correspondence. Does anybody see anything in there that they would like to chat on? There we go. I have one. Ms. Stokes, item 9.4, that council received a letter from the BC Oil and Gas Commission as information.
Yep.
Have they received Councillor Johnson's information?
I just reached out to Carolee.
Oh, never mind. He's already answered.
Yeah, I reached out to Carolee and we're going to set up a meet and greet.
Perfect. Okay, so you're on that. There we go. Thank you very much. Okay. Anybody else see anything? Oh, I'm jumping back. 9.2, our monthly.
Backward.
Huh?
No backward.
No, backwards. Too bad, I've already done it. Our fire department was really busy, 91.25 hours for the month of January, and two fires. They were like busy. Lots of first responder calls. Yeah, they were busy guys. Holy macaroni! But they did a wonderful job. I saw that. The neighbors of the people who did have fires and stuff were very thankful for our volunteer firefighters. They did a phenomenal job of containing the fire, and I can't imagine the concern that you would have, not only as a homeowner, but as a neighbor when something along those lines is going on. So, yeah, that was phenomenal. Awesome job. Okay. Well, those were my 2 things. Anybody else? Ooh, I know. Miss Stokes.
Yeah?
Item 9.7, the council received a letter from the BC nurses as information. Could we actually bring this back? I just wanted to talk a little bit to Dawson Creek, and reach out to, Mayor Dober and just kind of have a conversation about what they're feeling and thinking and
Okay, what do you mean bring it back?
well, can we put it on the next one?
You're free to reach out to
Mayor Dober?
Mayor Dober and discuss this and bring it back in your mayor report next time.
Okay, I will do that then.
That would be probably the easiest,
Yeah.
okay? Because you're the liaison for the health,
Yeah.
so it's under your portfolio, so it'd be okay to reach out to him and talk to him and then bring back the report to council.
Okay, that works out. I'm just writing myself here a note. Thank you. I meant to phone him and I've had such a crazy week, I actually never ended up getting to it, so.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Hey gentlemen, I'm the only one talking. Nobody? Nothing? You guys are all good? Such low maintenance, I'm telling you. All right, well, then we're moving on. So item number 10, resolutions, none. Item number 11, bylaws, none. Item number 12, administration, CAO report. You're up there, Miss Stokes.
Well, I'd just like to add that I'm in sunny Kelowna.
We're so jealous.
It's cold though, there's ice on the water, so it's not that warm.
All right, you're forgiven a little.
And I'll be back tomorrow night and I'll be in the office on Friday. I have a meeting with the Director of Public Works and Dawson Creek to discuss our water issues. More to do with the pump house and stuff and the freezing of the pipelines this morning. And I have, the mayor has forwarded me numerous people who are looking for help with grants, and that has been passed on to our grant writer, and he has been keeping me posted, and he is working with everybody. We have hired a casual on-call public works person to come in the event of major snowstorm or flooding or stuff like that. We've also hired a 3-month temporary position to cover one of our employees that is on medical leave. So right now, the Director of Public Works is a happy man because he's got people to work with right now.
Good.
We met with Elements Environmental to talk about the garbage contract, and they should be starting April 6th with garbage. And other than that, I don't have much else to say. I just update you on some things on the action item list. The council code of conduct is still being worked on by the lawyer. The health and safety manual, I have admin working on that. She has begun the revisions to a much smaller manual, so hopefully sometime in April, Councilor Waddell, is when you'll see the first draft, given that I'm away next meeting as well. And on the 15th of March, we have canceled that meeting due to the LGLA conference. Training policy for council, yeah, still looking into that one.
Good time to ask, I guess, while you're down at your conference.
Oh, I guess I could add that. Yes, I could.
Could you add that to your list of questions?
I'd like you to know that I'm missing out on dinner because of council meetings.
Aww. I hope they save you at least some dessert.
No, they're not even here. They all left. And Ironworks, I apologize. I have not had a chance to get anything out to TJ yet, but I will be working on that next week.
Okay, perfect.
And that's the end of my CAO report.
Okay, well, I just have a question. Have you learned any more about the Lagoon Grant?
About what?
The Lagoon Grant.
No.
Still
They
don't
have
know.
not gotten back to me yet. When I get back, I will be working with Urban Systems to put together a better email and get answers, but Urban Systems has encouraged me to keep reaching out to the ministry and find out why, and find out what we can do better on the next round of grants that come out for stuff like that.
So now as we've been denied this Lagoon Grant, how long do we have to wait before we could apply again or apply for another one, or?
We can apply as soon as another intake for this type of grant comes out. Right now, there isn't another intake. So I will work with the grant writer to see if there's other grants we can look at. Part of the problem is that this is retroactive work now. We've already done the work, but we may be able to find grants to cover the cost on our flow meter that we have to have repaired this year, and maybe with the cattail removal, because when we budgeted that last year, we budgeted $25,000, and when the contractor came back to us, he said it was $72,000 to remove the cattails. So we'll see if we can find a grant to cover part of that. Because right now, as it stands for the lagoons this year, they're just going to be doing monitoring of the lagoons and the flow meter.
Yeah, okay.
So, hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Stokes. All right, so we're going to move on to action items then. Mrs. Stokes covered the main action item things, but did anybody have any other questions they want to ask about the action items? Nope, they're all silent. So I'll take that as an up point. Okay. And then no capital special projects list. We are still waiting for the budget on that one. And that budget, we're hoping to see it next month. I think is planned. Hey, yeah. Okay. All right. Moving on to council calendars. Is there anything anybody needs to add? Yes, Councillor Woodall.
Yeah, I am gonna be out of the area from February 24th to the 27th. I'm gonna go to Calgary to finish up some training.
Okay. All right.
Everyone remember that February 20th is holiday, so our office is closed.
Yep. I don't. You make my life seem boring, Councillor Little. I have nothing going on. I need to go on a vacation. All right, nothing to add there to February, Councillor Johnston?
No, I'm pretty much clear.
Okay, let's have a sneak peek at March. Oh, look, Councillor Little's away again. He's such a busy man.
For more training.
I know, busy dude. All right. Mrs. Stokes, did we talk about rescheduling that March 15th meeting? Because we are going to be looking at budget stuff by that point in time, and we haven't really discussed when we were going to reschedule it for.
I'm going to leave that till I return on Friday. I have to have a conversation with my interim CFO.
Okay. Okay.
I'll get back to you.
Sounds good. Okay. All right. Anybody need to add anything to March? I think they're pretty well. all good. Oh, that's me. Alrighty, perfect. Okay, we're gonna move on to council reports. So, Councillor Johnston, you're up.
I would like to apologize for missing last meeting due to illness, and our house has been pretty sick for a couple of weeks.
Yes, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, I reached out to Tara Lee from DC Oil and Gas. I haven't heard back, but I'm gonna set up a meeting for a meet and greet. Get rolling on that. And other than that, I have nothing else to report.
Alright. Other than you're of swimmingly good health, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, alrighty. Councillor Rabble is away. Councillor Wallace also away. So Councillor Woodall.
Yeah, so I did a report. I got it all ready to go, put it on the portfolio sheet, and forgot to bring it tonight. So at their next meeting, I'm gonna have an extra long report.
Okay, so you got nothing to add?
The only thing I got coming up is on Monday on my drive home from Calgary, I'm gonna pull over off to the side of the road and take place in the advisory group committee for the regional district for the new hospital.
Oh,
So
cool.
I'll be taking part in that meeting. It's just a quick 1 hour inaugural meeting for that group. So it was an appointment that I got through the regional district, and you're actually my alternate for that.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll be taking place for the first meeting of that here on Monday. And then this next coming week, next week I got 2 regional district meeting days coming up as well. So,
It's budget season for you there as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, well, on to me. Alright, well, February 10th, I met, actually I'm gonna back up there. When was that? That would have been on, yeah, February 10th, I met with a community member over concerns regarding spring runoff and flooding. So it was wonderful to meet with her. We had a nice cup of coffee. She wandered me through her property, talked to me about some concerns about the culvert that's across the road from her home that often freezes, and then she gets large amounts of water that sort of flood off the road into her yard. So we were talking about different drainage things. I mentioned that we purchased a second steamer. Then I'd also mentioned that one of our gentlemen was away due to being hurt. So I'm glad to hear that we do have coverage for that, because most of our work guys take their jobs pretty seriously, and I can imagine that gentleman will be sitting at home panicking a little bit that he can't be out there steaming. So he'll be able to properly rest up without worrying about the runoff. I also attended the Schnitzel dinner on Friday night at the Poughkeepsie Legion, which was phenomenally delicious as always. It was so good, a wonderful time. On February 11th, I volunteered with the Poughkeepsie Public Library and helped put on the Valentine's Day cookie decorating. It was a wonderful time. There was lots of smiley faces. I had sort of come with my own kids, and then, as things end up being, I end up sort of helping out and was setting up tables and getting cookies, and so, the library is something that's always been kind of close to my heart from the years when I worked at the school there, so I tend to go there planning to not help, and then I am helping. So it was phenomenal. My children had a wonderful time. Everybody there seemed to be having a wonderful time as well. February 13th, I met with Director Hebert just to catch up on some different things that our respected areas are focusing on, and just to keep those communication lines going. We talked about some collaboration on different community events. So I talked to him about Canada Day, and he's added that to his calendar of things he's going to be helping with. So he's going to make sure that he is available for Canada Day, which I thought was fantastic, and that he plans on supporting as well. On February 14th, I attended the Local Leadership United Harm Reduction presentation in Dawson Creek. I did fill out a portfolio form. It was an amazing, eye-opening experience. Some of the statistics were eye-opening and kind of heartbreaking. So I wrote some things down here. So Northern BC, which is where we are, we have a 20% higher overdose and death rate per 100,000 people than anywhere else in all of British Columbia, which equates to about 6.2 deaths per day. One of the big things that they really touched on is that with harm reduction, they are saying that pro prohibition, which is what we've been doing for years, is it's making those that are struggling with addiction issues criminals, and this leads to discrimination, lack of support, stigma, which then in turn leads to those struggling with using alone and dying alone in their homes. Actually, 82% of overdoses happen in somebody's home when they're alone. They don't actually happen on the street. One of the things that the harm reduction really focused on is meeting people where they are at by creating a connected community and ending shame-based stigma and discrimination around those that are struggling. The North Winds Healing Center was something that was talked about a lot. There was a lot of excitement, and they were really looking forward to having something that is such a phenomenal resource, so close to this Northern Health space. So that was really, really awesome. And it was a very heartbreaking, eye opening and learning experience. So yeah, it was a full day, and they could have actually made it two. One of the books I actually got there was in the realm of Hunger and Ghosts, which is a close encounter with those struggling with addiction. These are stories from people in Vancouver, so I plan on definitely reading that. And then I also learned over the past 2 weeks about the Northern Health Text Alert Program for toxic drugs. So this is a system that keeps vulnerable community members safe by alerting them through confidential text messages of toxic drugs within their community. So this program was launched in 2002 and has over 23 people across the province using it to stay safe from drug poisonings and deaths. I really think it would be beneficial for us to share this information on our Village Voice and on our website. Every life is valuable, and if this information can help save even one person's life, then I really think that it would be phenomenal to get it out. So I'm gonna, if you guys are good with that, I'm gonna send the information off to Mrs. Stokes, and then hopefully we can add that, and then hopefully we can start helping those that are struggling and get the alert system going. And it's something that they do independently. They don't have to talk to anybody. They just enter in this number, and then it will automatically add it to their phone. And then if there's any poisoned or toxic drugs within our community, they'll get a text alert letting them know, so that they're less likely to purchase those. And one last thing, I just want to put out a reminder that this coming Friday is the seniors dinner at 5 p.m. at the Seniors Hall here in Poughkeepsie. So if you guys are looking for a delicious roast beef dinner, yeah, the seniors make a mean roast beef. And I think there's often other things there. I have yet to make it, so I plan on making it to this one. But I've heard in the past there's roast beef, and there's chicken and lamb and a bunch of other things. I don't know, I've heard the food is phenomenal. So I have promised myself I'm going to make it. Because every time I try to go, somebody gets sick or something happens. So yeah, so that's the end of my long-winded speech. Thank you very much. Alrighty, so, yeah?
Mary?
Yes?
Just to remind all of council that next Wednesday on the 22nd, we're having another workshop with Urban Systems and the building inspector at 5:30.
Oh yes, thank you very much. Yes, do not forget. Alrighty, yes, Councillor Whittle?
Yeah, so just to wrap up our meeting tonight, I want to take the opportunity to congratulate Captain DeVoe on his new promotion with the Poughkeepsie Fire Department.
Oh,
It was great to see that he got that promotion. I served with Captain DeVoe back when he was just a firefighter, first starting out with Poughkeepsie Fire, so it was nice to see that progression over the years and the hard work and dedication he's put into our community.
Yes, I saw him yesterday, and staff were pleased. I sang him a song. Once you work with children, you become a little bit crazy, and they had a great time, and I was singing him a song about how he's a Mr. Fireman, and he was having a good chuckle about it, so he looked so proud. Proud dad moment too for Chief as well, so yes, you're right, thank you. Thank you so much for mentioning that. Absolutely. Alrighty, we're coming to the end, so item number 14, question period. They've all left, well, I almost kicked Bill out, poor guy. Item number 15, in camera as per section 90, so there's none of that. Rise and report, none. And moving on to adjournment.
Make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
Alright, I'm adjourned.
Yeah, I got the bank.